Good morning, everyone. I was going to spend a few minutes this morning talking about the information about brokerage services. You hear it referenced as IABS very regular. We get used to using the shortened terms IABS, OSS, LBP. The longer you're in the business, you hear it often, but sometimes it can confuse people using those terms that we're used to. So IABS stands for Information About Brokerage Services. This is a form that we are to present to a potential client, customer, just a contact at any substantial dialogue when we first start talking about real estate. A lot of agents are scared to present this form because they're not sure how to go through it, how to present it. So I want to spend a couple of minutes talking about how I present this to a client. Right, I'm going to give them the high points. I'm not going to spend a ton of time going through this. Not going to read it word for word to them, but I need to be able to have conversation about it, especially if they stop me and ask questions as I go through it. So, kind of how I present this is I just tell them Texas law requires me to give you this form before we talk about any kind of confidential information. Form does not create a contract or obligate you to work with me. It simply explains how real estate representation works in Texas and what your options are with it. All right, Section 1 talks about types of real estate license holders right here on the form. Right, explains the difference between a broker and a sales agent. Move on down, it talks about our broker minimum duties required by law. Right, no matter who the broker represents, we have to do these things. We have to put the client's interest first. We have to disclose important facts about property or transactions. We have to present offers and answer questions. We have to treat everyone honestly and fairly. Right? Move down to this section 3, there are written agreements. This section explains that before a buyer can be shown a residential property, Texas law now requires this, kicked up from the NAR lawsuit a while back, but now requires a written buyer representation agreement. Even when not legally required, all brokerage agreements should be in writing so everyone understands the duties, expectations, and compensation. All right. Then you move down to really the meat of this document, the ways a broker can represent someone. Right, we can be an agent for the owner. Right, if the broker represents the seller, our job is to promote the seller's best interest, including price and terms, while treating buyers honestly and fairly. Um, we can be right here in the middle. We can be an agent for the buyer. If the buyer, if we represent the buyer or the tenant, right? Our job is to promote the buyer's interest, negotiating the price and terms, and guiding you through the transaction. All right, all the ins and outs and the things that are going to pop up. That's who we're representing. Then you get down here to this next one. It says as an agent for both. Right. This is if the same brokerage represents both the buyer and the seller. Right. The, we would be working as what they call an intermediary. What that means is the broker must stay neutral. Both parties must agree in writing to work in an intermediary situation. Right. Separate agents must be appointed to each side, and confidential pricing and motivation information cannot be shared. Um, then we get down to showing property without representation. This is new. This is part of the law changes from last year. Right. This section explains that a broker may show property to a buyer without representing them, but only if there's no agreement to represent the buyer and no advice or opinions are given. I can open the door, I can let you walk around, I can give you factual information, but I cannot give you advice or opinions on the property. All right, a short written agreement up to 14 days is used before showing residential property. Um, Multiple places in here it talks about commission, right? An owner's agent fee are not set by law and are fully negotiable. There's nothing set in stone, nothing says you have to pay me X percent. All compensation is fully negotiable inside any negotiations, any contract, any written documentation. Um, then as you come down, this section will be filled out depending on the location, But this section simply identifies the broker and the agents involved and provides contact information. It'll be your brokerage information, license number, email, phone number. It'll be the designated broker of the agent with their license number, email, and phone number. Some offices, and I've worked in a couple before, where I was a delegated supervisor through Trek, and I had a team. My agents worked underneath me. The third one would be a delegated supervisor, a licensed supervisor, if there was one, with their same license, email, and phone number, and then the agent's information, right? Their name, license number, email, and phone number. So that's just a quick run through of the information about brokerage services. And as I present this, I tell them signing this form only confirms I'm giving it to you, right? To explain this information to you. It does not require you to hire me. It doesn't mean you are in a binding relationship with me. It's not a legal agreement that you're going to work with me. It's just saying I've given you this information and I've explained this information. Right. If you'd like, we can talk about whether you want representation and what that would look like, but this is just an information page. So don't be afraid of it. Simple form, a lot of words for one page, but pretty simple to go through. Don't let this overwhelm you when you're presenting it to a client. Read through it, know it, keep these on you at all the time. Have them in your bag, have them in your car. That way you can pull them out, give it to them if you end up in a conversation with somebody when you didn't know it was going to happen. So, y'all guys have a great day. If you enjoyed this video and would like to learn more about the real estate industry, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.